Crime on the High Seas, an article by Christopher Booker. When I heard the BBC's Today programme banging on last week about the need to end the scandal of discarding, the practice whereby fishermen are forced to chuck millions of dead fish back into the sea, I could only give a weary shrug. Year after year in the 1900s, I exposed the horror story of the EU's common fisheries policy, based on an utterly cynical and illegal trick whereby in 1971 it was made a condition of Britain's entry into the common market that we should hand over the richest fishing waters in the world as a common European resource. No aspect of the CFP was more criminal than what I first described in 1993 as an ecological catastrophe, the pointless destruction every year of fish and their billions. Enforced discarding, which makes our fishermen weep with despair, was made inevitable by the system that the Commission's officials devised for parceling out the common resource among all the EU's members. This was an amazingly cumbersome quota system, which allocated to each country a certain tonnage of each species of fish, and made it a criminal offense for fishermen to land any catch for which they did not have a quota. The system was so ludicrously ill-conceived that fishermen could not avoid netting huge numbers of fish to which they are not legally entitled, and which therefore had to be destroyed. For years, however, it was noticeable that, whenever the BBC and other lovers of the EU discussed fishing, they studiously avoided mentioning discards and how the CFP had made them inevitable. It was not until about 2007, in which time even the US Fisheries Commissioner, EU Fisheries Commissioner, had called discarding immoral, that the BBC, Greenpeace, and others got in on the act. But what they never explain, even now, is how a system that is central to the CFP has created this catastrophe. Ban discarding. They manage their fisheries on a sustainable, scientific basis because they control their own fishing waters. This can never happen in the seas run by the EU because the CFP has to be based on a political principle which, by definition, makes it unworkable. That is why, whatever means the EU may come up with to replace forced discarding, what were once the world's richest fishing waters will remain an ecological disaster zone of all the monuments to the failure of the European dream. And this is as tragic as any. This article is raising awareness for the cause of dumping dead fish into the sea after fishermen are done fishing. This is prohibited by law, but fishermen are still engaging in these illegal activities. This needs to be stopped. They should put further restrictions on this activity and fishing in general. This could damage our oceans and seas for further generations. My article relates to biology because it talks about animals and ecosystems. It also relates because there is a food chain within my article. An example could be fish to human. The sub-branch of biology my article is under is ecology. My article talks about the animal part of ecology and also pollution. I did not react lightly to this article. I really thought about the effect it could have on the next generation, and I was devastated. Not only are these fishermen destroying the fish population, but also everything else that lives in that particular body of water. This event will affect me because I wanted to keep our marine animal population steady so that my kids will be able to know what these animals are. This event could impact the world by 1. Destroying the fish population, and 2. Destroying our bodies of water. This would prevent us from having healthy drinking water or water to do anything with. This in turn could decrease our living capacity, and we could no longer live as long as we should be able to. We should protect our oceans and our animals, no matter if we need them for food. My article is less than 1 year old. It was posted on June 16, 2012. I got my article from www.telegraph.co.uk.